After months of dilly-dallying, Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal's India visit is finally on the cards. Nepal's ambassador to India, Shankar Sharma, called on Indian Minister for Foreign Affairs, S. Jaishankar, earlier today in New Delhi. Now, at a time when Prime Minister Dahal has publicly reiterated about his upcoming India visit scheduled to take off at the end of May next week, the high-profile meeting in Delhi is seen in the same light, while the two leaders have committed to take the age-old bilateral relations between the two neighbors to newer heights. Good evening, I'm Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Nepal's ambassador to India, Shankar Sharma, calls on Indian Minister for External Affairs, S. Jaishankar. The leaders commit to further strengthening the bilateral ties in the coming days. One of the longest cheered festival of Patan, Rato Mathindranath, comes to a conclusion today with the displaying of Voto. Newar community also celebrates Siti Naka with much fanfare. Tributes pour in for Tina Turner, dubbed as the Queen of Rock and Roll, who passes away aged 83. She was a winner of 8 Grammy Awards and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Nigeria stunned Italy at the Under-20 World Cup to ensure a pre-quarter-final berth. Brazil hammered Dominican Republic 6-0 in another match. At a time when preparations for Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal's India visit has intensified, Nepal's ambassador to India, Shankar Sharma, has called on Indian Minister for External Affairs, S. Jaishankar. The meeting took place at the Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi. The two leaders have expressed commitment to further bolstering the bilateral relations between the two countries. The Nepali side has geared up for Prime Minister Dahal's India visit from 31st of May next week, even as the schedule has not been officially publicized. Minister Jaishankar has also tweeted about today's meeting, expressing commitment of bolstering the bilateral ties. The festival of Rato Mathindranath or Voto Jatra, one of the longest cheered procession celebrated in Patan, has come to a conclusion today with the displaying of the bejeweled vest locally called as Voto. President Ramchandra Paudel attended the event as the head of the state. This is the first public festival attended by President Ramchandra Paudel after he became the country's third president. Vice President Ramsahai Prasad Yadav, Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, House Speaker Devraj Ghimire, and Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Home Affairs Narayan Kazi Shrestha also attended the function. There was also a large throng of revelers to grace the festival at Lalitpur's Jawla Khel, where the jeweled vest or Voto is displayed 4 days after being brought from Lagan Khel. The government has announced a public holiday in all 3 districts of the Kathmandu Valley on the occasion of the Rato Mathindranath festival. The festival dates back to the Malla era that lasted between the 10th to the 18th of century. At least 5 people have died, while 9 are reported injured in Bafikot rural municipality of Rukum West as a jeep met with an accident this morning. The deceased, according to the local authority, have been identified as Karne Bhatha, Deuchan Khatri and Rekha Khatri. The 4th person is yet to be identified. The ill-fated jeep was carrying 14 people and was headed for Musikot from Gyudhunga. The condition of 4 of the injured is reported to be critical. 4 others have sustained minor injuries as well. Local authority has said rescue of the gravely injured is underway. The Newar community in the valley and in the outskirts are celebrating Siti Naka festival today. The festival marks the beginning of monsoon and plantation season, and the community also take the festival as an opportunity to clean their water sources. Members of the community clean their wells, ponds, stone spouts, among others on this day. The festival also falls on the birthday of deity Kumar, as the Newar community celebrates the day by cooking and sharing delicacies. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Home Affairs Narayan Kazi Shrestha has said that police were looking for additional evidences as cases could not be filed simply on the basis of statements in relation to the fake Bhutanese refugee scam. Receiving the memorandum submitted by a group affiliated to CPN-UML demanding unbiased investigation into the scam, Minister Shrestha said that the police were conducting a fair investigation. He added that investigations could not be held simply on the basis of allegations. Home Minister Shrestha added that the government would take strict actions against those involved in the organized crime. Citing commitment from senior leaders of major parties to support the government work in the scam, Minister Shrestha clarified that the police organization would not be a victim of any conspiracy. The Ministry of Home Affairs has begun legworks in finalizing the agendas that Nepali delegation should put forth as Prime Minister Pushpakmal Dahal is poised for a 3-day visit to India next week. Prema Dahal is all set to embark on India visit on the 31st of May, even as the schedule of his visit and stay has yet to be officially published. In the meantime, foreign affairs experts emphasize on the need to weigh in on the implementation of previous agreements between the two sides made during the Prime Minister's previous visit. Speaking at various platforms, Prime Minister Dahal has been claiming that his visit to India this time will be fruitful. Experts have emphasized that the Prime Minister should raise the issues of border encroachment by the southern neighbor and work to improve the souring relation. They have also called on the Prime Minister to seek for India's stand on the report prepared by the Eminent Persons Group EPG that was formed to review the treaties signed between the two countries. India has yet to receive the report prepared by EPG after investing 2 years. The last time Nepal took diplomatic steps was when it released an administrative map by including Nepal's Kalapani, Lipulekh and Limpiadhura. Bilateral relations have soured since then. Experts have also opined the Prime Minister should raise issues of exports of Nepali tea, ginger and cardamom among others and the widening trade deficit with India. There is also a need for the delegation to discuss on the fate of idle projects like the Upper Karnali and West Sethi that were contracted to Indian companies. Former Prime Minister Sher-Bahadur Deuba had visited India on the 1st of April 2022. Other former Prime Ministers, in fact Prime Minister of back then, KP Sharma Oli, visited India on 6th of April 2018. Both the sites and visits dwelt on Panteshwar multi-purpose project under the Mahakali Treaty. However, a detailed project report is yet to be prepared. The agreement stuck for the Roxol-Kathmandu railway link and waterway for import and exports have also yet to be implemented. Likewise, experts have also called on the need to raise the issue of air routes to Pokhara and Gautam Buddha international airports. It is now time for a short break, but for more news, do stay with us. Rainfall has been reported in several parts of the country because of the low-pressure westerlies and local winds today. Now, rainfall has been reported in Madhya and Bagmati provinces alongside western hilly districts. According to the Meteorological Forecasting Division, the weather condition is likely to persist for a few more days. The westerly winds activated in the western region of the country reached Bagmati province today. The Met Division has said that strong winds and rainfall are likely in the Tarai region and has urged everyone to remain alert. It is now time for our segment Public Polls, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Poll.
The question is, what could be the reason for the delay in appointing the leadership of parliamentary committees? Your options are A. No power sharing consensus, B. Result of dilly-dallying, and C. Trying to complete procedures. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for the international news. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has said he would seek the 2024 Republican nomination for president. DeSantis made his announcement in a video ahead of joining Twitter CEO Elon Musk in an interview. The Florida governor's entrance in the Republican contest set up a showdown with his one-time ally, former President Donald Trump, that will shake up the race for the White House. With a rising national profile and what are expected to be deep financial resources, the 44-year-old DeSantis immediately becomes Trump's biggest rival for the Republican nomination. But polls show Trump with more than a 2-to-1 edge over the Florida governor, who has long been considered a Republican rising star and the herald of a new generation of leaders in the party. Trump, who announced in November, has also had a head start in organizing his campaign in key early voting states.
We chose facts over fear, education over indoctrination.
Russia's Wagner mercenary group's founder has said some 20,000 troops were killed in the months-long battle for control of Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine. Yevgeny Prigozhin said he had recruited about 50,000 prisoners to fight with Wagner in Russia's war in Ukraine and that about 20% of them had been killed. A similar number of his contract soldiers had also perished in the battle for the city, he told Russian political strategist Konstantin Dolgov in a video interview posted on his Telegram channel. This weekend, Wagner and the Russian military claimed to have taken control of Bakhmut, which has been left in ruins by the prolonged fighting, with Russian President Vladimir Putin congratulating the armed forces. But Kiev has said its forces continue to fight for the city. Prigozhin, a businessman whose influence has deepened since Russia began its full-scale invasion of Ukraine more than a year ago, has scathingly criticized the country's military leadership, accusing Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and Chief of the General Staff Valery Gerasimov of incompetence. Last year, Prigozhin toured Russian prisons in a bid to convince inmates to fight with Wagner in Ukraine in exchange for an amnesty if they survive to return home. Dubbed the Queen of Rock and Roll, Tina Turner, whose soul classics and pop hits made her a superstar, has died at the age of 83. She had suffered a number of health issues in recent years, including cancer, a stroke, and kidney failure. She rose to fame in the 1960s with songs including Proud Mary and River Deep, Mountain High. Tina Turner was famed for her raunchy and energetic stage performances and husky, powerful vocals. She had won 8 Grammy Awards and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2021 as a solo artist, having first been inducted in 1991. Upon her solo induction, the Hall of Fame noted how she had expanded the once limited idea of how a black woman could conquer a stage and be both a powerhouse and a multi-dimensional being. Younger stars who have felt her influence include Beyoncé, Janet Jackson, Janelle Monáe, and Rihanna. American singer Gloria Gaynor, who also rose to fame in the 1960s, said, "Turner paved the way for so many women in rock music, black and white." Tributes poured in from supermodel Naomi Campbell, basketball legend Magic Johnson, and singers Kelly Rowland, Ciara, and Blondie's Debbie Harry. On Instagram, the Rolling Stones frontman Sir Mick Jagger said Turner was inspiring, warm, funny, and generous, and helped him when he was young. Sir Elton John, who in his autobiography wrote about the heated arguments the pair had while trying to work together in 1997, said she was one of the world's most exciting and electric performers. What's Love Got to Do With It is considered her greatest song ever. That is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin is at 10:30 tonight. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye for now.